If you are able to answer this question, I will send you $100. I want you to find a number b raised to the power y, and the answer is x. Find that number, send it in the comment section, and I will send you $100. A number b raised to the power y, and the answer is 0. Now, remember that for a logarithmic function, y is equal to log of x base b is just the same as what is x when b is raised to the power y. What is x when the base b is raised to the power y? This is how you interpret this expression. Now, these two expressions exist only when x and b are greater than 0 and b is not equal to 1. With that said, we are able to find the domain of this function. Now, this function is defined for all the values such that this input is greater than 0. This input cannot be 0. So, we are going to set this expression greater than 0. Now, I will straight away going to factorize. Look at this. The sum here is x, or I can say the coefficient of x here is 1. And the product is negative 16. So I know that 3, right? I know that 3 minus 2 is equal to 1, and 3 multiplied by negative 2 is negative 6. So I can write here positive 3, and I can write negative 2. Now what I'm doing here, I am finding critical values. These are the values that makes this expression equal to 0. Now, if we solve this equation, you realize that x is negative 3 or x is positive 2. Now, we are going to do a sign test. I put negative 3 here and I put 2 here. The question that I'm going to ask myself is, if I pick a value either after negative 3 or between negative 3 and 2 or after 2, and I put it in this expression, is this expression still going to be greater than 0? If it is greater than 0, then that is part of the solution. But if the expression is less than 0, then we are going to discard that part. Okay, let us start with numbers that are between negative 3 and 2. I will pick 0. Okay, now look at this. I put 0 here, I have 3. I put 0 here, I have negative 2. So 3 multiplied by negative 2 is negative 6. And negative 6 cannot be greater than 0. So this middle part is not part of the solution. Now let me pick a value that is beyond negative 3. Let me say negative 4. Okay. Now I put negative 4 here. Negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1. Now, negative 4 minus 2 is negative 6. And negative 1 multiplied by negative 6 is positive 6. So, the output is positive, which is greater than 0. So, this is part of the solution. Okay? All the values that are after negative 3 put in this expression, they are going to give a number that is greater than 0. Okay, let us pick a value that is beyond 2. Let's say I pick a 3 here. Okay, now look at this. 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. And 3 minus 2 is equal to 1. And the product is positive. So this is also part of the solution. Now, remember, this is a number line. And the number line is coming from negative infinity to negative 3. Now, this is strictly greater than, so I'm going to use open parentheses. Now, this part is not part of the solution, so we discard this. Now, if we combine this part and this part, we need to use a union. So, we are going to say union, then we start from 2 to positive infinity. Therefore, the domain of this function as an interval notation is negative infinity to negative 3 union 2 to infinity.